people come from all walks of life. They all have lives they lead. Any and all are welcome here to come and chat with me.
Hi everyone, I'm at the workshop. It's at the Alliance Church here on Yonge Street down by Brooks Avenue, and it's an all-day event. Something I'm really looking forward to because I just know that I'm not prepared. I mean, you don't know what you need to know necessarily. Anyway, they started off, there's a printout here, prepared workshop. It's quite intensive, and Joshua will be speaking throughout the day, so I'm not quite sure how it all goes. Well, we'll find out. Anyway, my sister Kitty is with me. I'm going to swing it over, so Kitty, don't look so studious. Say hi.
Bonjour.
Oh, that was
Good. I'll be bilingual. Good and tuck.
Good and tuck. What else?
Ohio go to mass. That's Japanese.
Okay.
Ta-ta. Ta-ta, that's English.
British. I think that's bye.
Okay. Well, then never mind. I'm not speaking anymore.
Anyway, I'm just going to swing it around. I want to show you some of the equipment that they're going to be talking about, the things you need. They've laid it out up on the table over there, and right across Kitty's face and past Kitty's, like all of the things that you will need in the event of an emergency. Some of this is not going to look so good because, like, I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to the camera, but we'll find out. Thanks.
What a great idea.
You want to come and say hi and what your name is?
Hi. I'm Deb Bussey, and I'm part of the Corps.
Oh, okay. So what do you do as part of the Corps?
We organize the rallies. We make sure that our rallies run kind of smooth.
Yeah.
We give out as much information as we can and try to encourage people to come out and support.
This is very important.
Oh, it's critical right now. It's critical.
Yeah.
Exactly. Especially, like I said the other day to somebody, it's not just about being prepared because we live in Chilliwack for fires or flood, which are possible, but we're in an earthquake zone.
Right.
And when I said that to somebody, the next day there was that earthquake in Alaska.
Oh.
I said, see?
Exactly.
Are you prepared?
But if we listen to the scientists, we have serious stuff coming.
Yeah.
Serious.
Oh, yes.
And I find the majority of people that I speak to, it's almost like they're oblivious.
Well, and the thing that I noticed is it's like common sense and conscious brain have gone out the window.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you
right?
there. Yeah.
And the more of us that come and stand up and say something, the better, because people just don't get it. Like even my own family, I've lost friends and family who don't agree with how I agree, and it isn't just about what we see on TV. I don't watch TV, and it's just one of those, I don't know if it was a movie and they were all sitting there and the TV was giving them all these waves, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's like now, and people have become mean and nasty.
Yeah. And if you're nonconformist, it's even worse.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been ridiculed many times, I'll
me
tell
too,
you.
Me too.
Yeah.
And because I'm on Facebook, like my cousin came at me, and and I was like, because you have a difference of opinion than me doesn't mean that I'm right or that you're right. The truth is in the middle.
Okay, we're going to be starting soon. I just want to do a scan of the room, a quick scan of the room. People are, oops, wrong way, Kitty. Sorry about that. People are still coming in. There's quite a few people. Do you mind if I
I'm a refugee from Chile. I came to Canada over 30 years ago, and I felt I know what it's like when a country goes into a coup, and to see hunger. I know what it's like. I've seen it. When there's no pets around, when people start eating dogs, when they start eating dogs and cats, I know what it feels like. And you know what? I'm scared of what's going on, and I don't want to be vaccinated, and I want my freedoms. And I came here for freedom, and there's no other country I can run to, right? I can't immigrate, or I can't be a refugee anywhere else. So here we stand, and I think here we fight. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Maria. And I've been listening to Josh. I've been listening to Josh since beginning of April at the rallies talk about preparedness. My parents actually came from a country that went bankrupt, Greece. And right now, and Greeks are notorious for starting fires. and they're calling it climate change right now, and they're actually talking about doing climate lockdowns next in Greece.
Oh my goodness.
It's got to be one of the most corrupt countries around, besides our own. And my father just raised me to understand the corruption, deconstruct the media, videos, everything, newspapers from a very young age. And so when this COVID hit, it was clear to me as day that it was just a huge scam. And I'm really nervous about what's going on in this country. I'm really nervous about what they're going to do next. For example, they want to do an economic collapse worldwide. Klaus Schwab and his cronies there in Europe did Cyber Polygon, which is simulating cyber attacks on all the financial institutions globally.
Yeah.
And just like they did Event 201, and 3 months later, we had the coronavirus hit.
Oh.
This happened last month where they did the Cyber Polygon 2021, and I'm afraid within a few months that they may do that globally, because that's one way to bring on an economic collapse. So I'm here to learn what I can possibly do to protect myself and family. Thank you.
And it's certainly interesting, Kitty, to get a perspective from people from another country.
Absolutely.
Seriously, because we live here, we hear what we hear on the news about other countries, but to live there and experience some of the things, it's a totally different thing, right? Right. So it's really good for us, I think, to hear your perspective and what's going on. Thanks, I appreciate it. Okay, I'm just switching this over to Kitty. There's been some talking so far, some really interesting information. Where are you, Kitty? So, there's some stuff that really new to me, so far. I've got to think back about one of the things that the second person was talking about. I didn't get his name. I know that he's a Micmac.
I thought he said Socrates, but I couldn't quite if that was his name.
No, something like that. But anyway, what have you learned so far, if anything? If there's anything new, have you?
I had a misunderstanding about our land. I had a misunderstanding about not having to pay a mortgage. Government was going to own everything. Everything was going to be taken care of. That's not what he said. It's clear I feel this was very intelligent, informal information, and it's certainly not about conspiracies.
Yes, absolutely. This is the important thing.
Number one I got from this is not about conspiracies. It's about what's actually happening.
Right. One of the things that impressed me is when he talked about the unceded land, meaning it wasn't ceded to the government. They did not give the government that land. So they're not taking back land that they gave away. It was never given to the government in the first place.
Right.
That's another thing that we misunderstand, I think, as white people. We misunderstand a lot of the things that happen, or the government feeds us false information.
Yes.
Right? And it's to understand from First Nations point of view, although this is for everybody today. This is not just about First Nations. But it's just kind of interesting, the things that we have been taught by the government over and over and over and over again. History books are written by, who writes the history book? Mm-hmm. All of these things. So just listening to some of this, even though it's about survival, it's understanding the government's part in. One of the things that, which we know about is how they use the media.
Yes.
Put the false information based on some truth, right?
Yes.
Based on some truth, so to make it believable. That's the thing that's interesting. But they get
get brainwashed by the media, and it's fear, 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 fear. This is what the media spews out: fear.
And the media, as you pointed out earlier, even before we were on camera, there's no who does investigative reporting anymore?
No such thing.
I think that's the saddest thing, that there is no real investigation. We just automatically believe what the media says. Mm-hmm. But the media is fed, their news is fed to them by the government.
Yes, and a corporation, a big corporation, all about money and power and control, but I have a greater and different kind of understanding over the potential of what's going on. Mm-hmm. Gives me a little bit more better information. Now I'm very interested to find out, what do I need to do now?
So there's been two speakers. The original speaker, which is Joshua Lemmens, and the other speaker is Sakej Ward. I think I pronounced his name wrong, right? It's quite different spelling. But anyway, they'll be back after lunch. We're just having a lunch break. But they both do survival, teaching, surviving in the wild, or bugging out, as they call it, all kind of different terms. It's just after 5, 10 after 5. Anyway, I just got home. The event was, it was a long day because the event started at 8:30. But I have to say it was certainly worthwhile. There's still so much that I have to process, of course, take in, but there's some things I learned that I can practice right away, even though it's not an emergency, but it's good to get a handle on some things. So, yeah, I'm just going to get this, my friend Corley, to get this all together. And anyway, thank you, everybody. If there is another preparedness and survival workshop, I certainly encourage you all to go. So hope you enjoyed seeing this, and see you next time. Peace out, everyone.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.